Happy Monday to everybody. Here we go. Pregaming 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. Y'all already know what we do up in here. We get that paper. Goddamn right they ain't like us. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Had a lot of fun again on Saturday and made some cash along the way. Man, we were talking about it after the fact. All those baseball spots. Man, cash, CFL, NFL. It was a lot of fun to go out there and get that money. I hope you guys stacked it up with us, and away we go. We got a new week. We got just a couple of weeks until we get rolling into college football, the NFL. Shortly thereafter, the NHL will pop along, and the NBA, well, we all know the deal. You don't really have to pay attention to the NBA until Christmas, but they did drop their early lines for game number ones already today. If you guys saw those numbers out there, I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know how you could go out there and bet those things now anyways. How many, a million of questions, let alone injuries. Who the hell's even on these teams? But we know who's on Team Sports Money. It's all you guys and girls in the chat, the crew, the gang, fired up, ready to keep it moving. We got ourselves a new live stream spot tomorrow, you guys. Hope you're excited. We got a little Dana White Contender Series. I believe there's 5 bouts. There's 5 scraps out there in Dana White Contender Series. And, man, don't dismiss it. They are stocking the pond. You know, we've seen guys like Sugar Shane come out there, and we've seen all kinds of young and up-and-comers, of course, Bo Nickel, all making their debut on Dana White Contender Series. And we've got some nice plus money spots to go attack. So we're going to do that tomorrow, you guys. Nice part about it, it starts at 7, so our show pops off at 6:45. That means we got to be fast on pre-gaming tomorrow. Then we're probably done by, I'd say 9:30. Let's say 9:30-ish sounds about right. Maybe a little sooner. And we'll see how it goes. You know, we were talking about it on Saturday. Everyone was having a good time. Maybe it was cocktail induced. But we decided that it was going to be something that we wanted to try out here, at least for week 1, because we had already talked about some spots that we liked. So we're going to bring it to you guys tomorrow, 6:45 p.m. It'll be a new spot for us to stream and debut this sports betting bros in this money-making machine that we are. So hopefully you guys can pop in there and hang out with us, have a drink, enjoy the night, and see if we can't get this fight to the bookies. Lots of fun we got in store tonight. You guys see the deal on the side of the screen. We got games popping off at 6:40, so we got to get to work. I did drop something out there. Hopefully you guys have been noticing this. I see it. Joe T's commenting on it in the chat as well. Make sure you check out, there is a tab. There is a community page tab on the sports money spot there, and we've been trying to populate it with you guys. Joe T's got a lot of his total plays of the day that he's posting over there. Some different communications and announcements. We'll talk a little bit about the survivor pool that's out there. We're going to get into the prop parlay again. We're going to keep going until we hit one of these sons of bitches. Man, we've been damn close. Hopefully you guys are playing those individually as well, because they have been some nice plus money spots. Got it locked down on the K-prop side of things. Who the hell knew? In a battle of unders, overs have been cashing. Or I should say in a battle of overs, the over K-props have been cashing. No correlation to K-props and totals, as it turns out. But we're going to get into the Cubs and Cleveland game. Spot you might not expect. Wrong team favored. Wrong team favored. Astros, Rays, good game there. We got Toronto, the Angels. We're going to go Rockies, Arizona out in the desert. We'll bring it home with Atlanta and San Francisco. And I didn't put it up there. So don't let me forget to talk about League Cup action. Nice plus money spot tonight that I want to attack in League Cup. In fact, it starts at 10:30 p.m. A little game between the Seattle Sounders and the Pumas down there out of the old Mexican Penal League. So we're going to talk about all of that and then some, you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys know the deal. Hit the thumbs up button. Show the support. Help us grind this thing out. We're doing this on the regular. Excited about to have a new announcement coming up as well with some partners that want to affiliate with what's happened here at Sports Money, all to help you guys get better at gambling. We're all doing a great job at it collectively, and these tools are going to become readily available for everybody. So I'm excited for that. Shout out Joe T says, what up, what up? Let's kill it Monday night. Appreciate you, Joe T. Rocking and rolling out there, doing that thing, building out the community tab for us with Sports Money and grinding on it every day, man. It's good stuff, Joe T. Appreciate you, my dude. Rocking, winning like a motherfucker on top of that as well. He's got quite a few spots tonight. And I like Just about all. I think there's only one spot that I didn't align with him on, and that's okay, because I think he put 4 out there, and 3 of them look pretty damn fucking good to me. Justin McKelvey and Stacks. Play of the day likes Ellie De La Cruz over 1.5 bases, plus 138. Why the hell not? Let's go Sancho, says winners come to sports money. Goddamn right they do. Man, you guys have been firing. I mean, we're just trying to keep up with you guys. It's a lot of fun when everyone's winning, having a good time. I was joking about this on Friday or Saturday, right? I said they might be talking about CLV. Yeah, we're posting our lines Friday night for Saturday, and we beat the line. You don't hear them sons of bitches talking about cashing out, do you? Who's talking about withdrawals? And I'm not talking about the shakes from moving off the spoon. I'm talking about getting that cash into our bank accounts. Job 1, get our hands on the bookies bankroll and move it to our own. And that is primary concern. Numero uno objecto. Fucko the bucko is what I got to say about that. Want to make a bet, says Royals Twins over 8 for 5 units tonight. Top play. I like that look. Want to make a bet? Dustin's in the house. He likes the Cubs first 5 money line, the Giants money line. Okay. David Wallace, my guy in the Carolinas, locking it down. And Juggler 23 coming out here. He says favorites 18-2 the last 20 games between the Brewers and the Dodgers. And it looks to me like that has to be coin flippy, huh? Minus 110s pretty much across the board. I see a minus 112 on DraftKings. Woo! There's a little coin flipper for you. NJ Striker, what's up? Says Mikey. Always bringing the goods. Love you, brother. Appreciate you, NJ Striker, man. Love you too, man. Love all you guys and girls hanging out. We're building something, right? We're building something. We don't wait for the rain to come down before we build the ark. We're ready. Let's go. David Wallace says, I'm looking at KC and Houston money lines today. Juggler 23. Got action on the Cubs, minus 115. Cards, minus 130 are 2-unit spots each. And he likes to want to make a bet. Play of the day out there. Kelly McKinnis. Look at this guy. Says, let's get it, Mike. Like smashed ears, open mouth shut. Well, speak up. We want your guys' best plays in the chat. We want to talk about what you guys are on too. We're all working here together, man. Sometimes we see it just a little bit different than everyone else, and that's okay. It's good to be on the island, the old island of Pimp Slap here. Julian Cesario in the house. My guy Julian likes the Astros minus 110. He likes the Rangers plus 110. Tricky Boston spot. Tricky Boston spot. And Molly going on the bump for them Texas Rangers. Gerald Jones says, what up? Pippin ain't easy, crew. Best bet Diamondbacks run line got minus 115 this morning. Nice. I like that look. Should be pounding the shit out of him today. Mitch Morber's in the house. Let's go. New Jersey Striker says, best intro beat yet. Mm-hmm. I know some of you guys like that one. I know some of you don't like that one. I'll tell you what. They ain't like us. Somebody asked me earlier today, who's the they? It's everybody that's not here right now. That's who the they is. Right now. You're here or you're they. Your pronoun. You identify as they. Whoa. Whoa. Did I say that out loud? Shout out Trap God. Shout out Kenny Wood. Juggler 23 says Contender Series is great to watch. I totally agree. I have some more fun with those sometimes than the actual cards on Saturday. So, albeit, man, some fun to get those cards. That fucking Spivak fight. I dumped the truck on that thing and I blinked and it was over. I was like, whoa, that was a good win. Winner Circle says, hey, yo. He likes a little Aaron Judge action. 2+ bases and a Bellinger over a half a hit. Let's go. Steve Fetterbox's big UFC pay-per-view this weekend. I'm already pumped up about it. Hey, your boy. What'd your boy do? He went back to his winning way. 6-1 now in UFC with that plus 185 spot from last Wednesday's first strike. Yeah. You already know. You already know what we do. Jason Mayer's in the house. Want to get better at gambling? You come to the right spot, dude. You have come to the right spot. Look at, think of this as the foundation for the mansion of success that's going to be coming here because everyone's working together, sharing their looks, their angles, their trends. Man, it's going to be a lot of fun what we got coming up here. Fernando Mendoza's my dude in the house. Let's keep smacking these bookies. Winner Circle. DDP moneyline UFC Saturday. Yeah. We're not talking Diamond Dallas Page. Duplessis. Red X. Already gobbled that one up on us. Oldie says Cubs. Team total over 2.5. Guardians team total over 2.5. Same game parlay at even money. Markel says, what up, Pimp? I bet Cubbies run line today. I like tomorrow better. Markel says, me too. Yeah, me three, man. I want to get better at this thing. Jason Mayer says, I got a two steamers left or drop a straight bet. Well, we'll see if we can help lend some clarity on the decision-making that you have at hand. I think I did add a parlay at the last minute, but it's the late night spots. So I'll tell you guys about it. I will certainly do just that. There's KB in the house. She says, Pittsburgh, San Diego just played. Pittsburgh, San Diego, Houston, Tampa, and Texas, Boston. Winter Series, 10 straight covers, run lines. Cubs, crazy interleague series. Agree with Juggler. Cubs minus 122. I'm excited to talk to you guys about that one. Fernando says he likes the over 8 in the Brewers game, even if Razor gave out the under in the Brewers game. Woo Rizza says on Abbott under 5.5 Ks. Cards money line plus 188. And Fernando says Steam went back on the over, went up 4 cents. We're talking about that Brew Crew spot there. Jason Mayer says, who you think on the Doyers tonight? They owe me for the 8-3 loss. Peasy says, what up, motherfuckers? Back in traffic out there. West Coast, baby. Make sure you follow our guy. LA to the Bay all day. He wrote some intros all over the place, man. Number 1 intro guy in the biz. Woo Rizza likes the Padres. Pirates, first 5 over 4. Over 4.5, looks like. Jason Mayer says, Kilo. Ramon Scott. Whoever they are. Whomever. Whatever. Wherever. You guys know the deal. Stephen Harrison says Pirates money line plus 170. Locked and loaded for our guy there. He's got the Guardians plus 102. The Reds plus 120. The Astros money line. Kelly D agrees with Juggler. And the Futon Bet says Chris Sale under 8.5 Ks. Sup, buddy? Let's get this cash. And there we go. Jason Mayer says, shout out to Harrison. Raise the flag, baby. Raise it up. Raise that shit on up. Okay. Jake Woodford versus Joe Musgrove. All right, let's get to work, you guys. Look, a lot of you guys have been asking about some different things that are going on. Where do I bet? Where do I put my cash? Where do I get invested in? So I wanted to just touch on this briefly. I put this out there in the aforementioned community page yesterday, maybe it was yesterday. Or it was, it couldn't have been Saturday. I was cocktailed on Saturday. It had to be yesterday. And there's definitely a program I've been doing for a number of years. My brother and I have been doing it for a number of years. A bunch of you guys have jumped on in the last year or two. And it's super inexpensive with huge rate of return out there. I can vouch personally in the golf program that they have that I picked up almost $7,500 in one golf season from it. So literally low cost entries. This is what it looks like. You'll see it out there. This is where I fuck around. So, your options and do what you want to do. I don't care if you do it or you don't, but this is what it looks like. NFL Big Survivor. It's going to cost you about $20 to get in. Literally, I believe it's $120K in prizes. They pay out 700 places. And then they've got some packages that go along with it. So we're getting that close. We're getting close to football season. If you're going to get in any Survivor League, man, this one's a lot of fun. It's easy to do. It's on the internet. There's packages as well. I mentioned in the chat or in the community tab on X or on YouTube rather that it was somewhere that I mentioned it in the community tab that they've got up to a bundle with 11 contest entries. So all of it legit on the up and up. If I hadn't gotten paid out before, I wouldn't be out here confidently advertising it to you guys as something to get involved with. I don't have any affiliation, full transparency. It's just something that I do. I have a good time doing it. I do it with baseball, golf, March Madness, football, the NFL. I haven't done their college football yet. I haven't fucked around with college football yet, but they got NBA props out there. They got all kinds of stuff. So check it out. It's worth at least a check out. Up to you guys if you do it, as I mentioned. If you do, I hope you make some cash. I hope you enjoy yourselves with it. I hope you win, but don't beat me. Hope you don't beat me. I'm going for the top spot there. It's cool though, because they have the Second Chance Survivor League as well. I mean, look at the bundles. You know, for anywhere from 20 to like $100, you can have a couple of different packages set up for how you want to get involved with the NFL. And it's super easy via the web. You can do it in just a matter of a couple clicks. They track it all week to week. There's full transparency around the leaderboards. If I wasn't fucking with it for a couple of years, I wouldn't be sharing it with you guys. But that is out there in the community tab. And again, I know a couple of you said, like, you know, how do I get involved with this or what is it? We may set something up for Sports Money and the team, but I'm a little trepidatious, to quote my guy, Jose Bouquet, because frankly, I don't want to be the guy catching emails saying, oh, I couldn't get this in on time, or I couldn't do this, or the site wouldn't let me. I mean, we all know what happens with some of these startup websites that get built for this shit. This program's not like that. It is super turnkey. Make your $20 entry, and away you go to try to get your cash. So enough on that, but that is Survivor. You know, we've talked about fantasy football. We've talked about survivors. We've talked about different contests and different formats. I think what we will be doing here is, you know, we'll be certainly having some giveaways between tomorrow, Friday, ramping up to the NFL season. So you can expect some free Survivor entries. You can expect some different ideas around what we're going to do. Joe T is going to put some surveys together on the chat or inside the community tab in Sports Money there on YouTube. So make sure you check it out. Yeah, Trap God says, sounds like fun. I'll look into it, dude. I was saying this earlier. I fucked up one year. As a matter of fact, I'm going to blame Dutch. I'm going to blame Dutch for this one. It was one of them Thursday nights, and you got to lock your pick in like Thursday by like 5 p.m. Eastern time or some shit like that. And I had like a sick pet. I was at the vet, and he texted me, and he was like, you want to come on and screen? It was the first time I was going to go on screen. So I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. So I got home. I dealt with the sick pet. Made some cocktails, got ready to go. Didn't I fucking forget to put the entry in that week? Man, I mean, it's been a couple of years now, but I still can't forgive myself for that fucking blunder. What a waste. At least I had the second chance. But anyways, you guys see it on the screen here. Let's get to business. Let's get to work. Again, no affiliation with me, just something that I personally spend my money on. So if you guys are looking for somebody to vouch for something, then I don't vouch for much, but I would certainly vouch for that program. Cheap, easy, fun, big payouts. Speaking of big payouts here, we got a 20-1 parlay option today for the player prop attack here. Just one pitching prop. The reason I only went with one is because I looked at a lot of these games and they just kind of looked like unders as far as, you know, the board is concerned, and trying to figure out exactly which K props that I want to get to. They were still juicing to the over, but they weren't moving. Like, we weren't seeing 6.5s go to 7.5s. It was just a fucking weird spot today. I don't know what's going on with these props, but I did start with Brandon Pfaadt. I got him over 6.5 Ks. Looking at this guy by the numbers, we'll move fast for you guys here. For me, this one comes down to two things. The Rockies, first of all, first game out of Coors for the Rockies, right? We know that that transition from altitude now to fucking flat desert should wreak some havoc. Maybe those bats are just a little sluggish. They also strike out more than any other team, any team in Major League Baseball on the road. 28.1% strikeout rate for the Colorado Rockies out there. And, you know, Pfaadt, from that being said, he does have some 7.5s at even money out there. So of all the player props that have started to move, this guy does have that option of correlating with the cash coming in on him. So, you know, could this be a ladder play? It fucking might be. I mean, this guy could probably go 10, even 11 deep for this Colorado Rockies team. You know, we look at this total in the desert, it's set at 8.5. We've talked about time and again, the key number in baseball, the 9 for totals. When it's under, the books are showing some vulnerability or some concern around those spots. So I jumped in there. I think he's a great spot to take. The 6.5 Ks for me. Moving on down the line, Buxton Singer. I took Buxton for the RBI action here. This comes down to Singer struggling against lefties. 296 average out there, 859 OPS against lefties. But we see righties. In this case, we see Buxton against this right-handed pitcher 2 home run game. Buxton and Singer, I mean, look at 467 in his career with 2 home runs as well. I expect the total in this game to fly over this number. I do. And the reason I wanted to attack this one was it was around a +1. I think it was 165. I think it was 165 was this Buxton number. It started at 8. It's moved to 8.5 with 98% of the bets and 98% of the cash on the over in that spot. So I like me some Buxton batting average opportunity. I went to Conforto. Now I got to see if Conforto is actually playing or not. I still see a projected lineup. I haven't seen the official for San Francisco. So I don't want to waste too much time talking about it. This fucking guy's not going to play. Is he going to scrub me on this thing? Let's see. Yeah, fuck state. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. So you don't play Conforto. He was part of the 50-50 club. He went from a 218 to a 440 in his last 50 plate appearances out there. He's killing it. So we'll mark it down to a 4-spotter. Alvarez, make fun of Dabby Cab or not for his consistency in going to like this. I don't know if he knows that there's more than 4 plays in the book, but your daddy Alvarez, as strong as he's been with a 382, he found himself on the 50-50 club with a 187 on a 187 on a motherfucking to a 569 now, 382 to a 569. So a good hitter that's been hitting even more consistently. We had that conversation earlier today about guys like Vladdy Guerrero, still a solid hitter, still a confident guy, but he fucked his ass right off that. He fucked himself right off that list of the 50-50 club because he hasn't had a hit in 7 games. So in comes Alvarez, again, a 187 improvement to a 569 to 50-50 club. I added Soto to the mix. Little Juan Soto. Number doesn't make sense to me. Plus 265 for this guy's RBI. Right now, it's lefty-lefty. I mean, I wish that wasn't the matchup, but dude's been a beast. He's tied with Judge overall. He's got a 297 situation out there against lefties for being the top 2 guys on the team to hit lefties, Soto and Judge. The last 7 days for Soto, he's got 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. He's only struck out 3 times in 25 at-bats. He likes getting RBIs on the road. He's got 40. He likes getting RBIs against the AL. He's got 61 at a plus 265. That one was a sweetener to kick this thing up a notch for Conforto. If I was going to move on somebody other than Conforto, if you're looking to get involved in this game here, I'd go to Nolan Arenado or Cody Bellinger. These are 2 no, you know what? Fuck that. I go to Rice Hoskins. Rice Hoskins, plus 150 for Rice Hoskins to get in there. It's going to make it probably more like 27 to 1 or something like that. So that's the way I'm getting down with the player prop parlay. It sucks that shitbag's not playing here in this this San Francisco game, but we're going to move on. We're going to keep a brisk pace. We're going to keep looking here. Yeah, Steve says just put Marte in instead. Yeah, I get that. And you can't find Buxton either. Is this fucking guy not playing either? It would be an epic fail if 2 leg. I had one. I smashed 3 5-leg parlays yesterday, and one of them was the under 8 in the, I think it was the Minnesota game. And they got to they all three of the parlays were around 25, 30 to 1. And that one, because that leg pushed, so it became a 4-legger, dropped all the way down to 11 to 1. I was like, oh man, what a gut punch. Taking him out of the situation like that. Let's see. Twins. No, he's in there. He's in the 5-hole. He's in the 5-hole. He's hitting, he's sitting second best on the team against Brady Singer. 467 with 15 at-bats, 7 hits, 2 home runs, and 4 RBIs for our guy, Buxton. All right, let's go. Can you shout the team out for us slow folks? Sure I can. Brandon Pfaadt plays for Arizona. Pitcher. Yordan Alvarez for the Houston Astros. Conforto's a shitbag, but he does play for San Francisco, which, by the way, makes me like that San Francisco play even more. And Buxton plays for the Minnesota Twins. And Juan Soto plays for New York Yankees. Not my New York Yankees. Fuck them. Toronto's my AL East team. And onward. Oh, he says, oh, never mind. Disregard the message. Sorry. Sorry, boys. girls. Let's go. Let's roll on. Let's get to some business now. We got some of the light work out of the way. Let's talk about this first big game that we've got popping off here on the slate. Little Cubbies action. Your Chicago Cubs. Everyone's your. Against my Cleveland Guardians today. How about that? How about that? Now, I don't like to see this last second tickaroo on this line. I saw the Cubs. I wanted to take the Cubs. I did. Line open at minus 118. It's now minus 120, so small movement. It's pros versus Joes. We got 60% of the bets on the Cubs. We got 69% of the cash on the Guardians, right? So when we talk about these numbers, for anybody that's new here, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. We're looking at these numbers, and everybody can talk about these numbers and wherever the splits are, but we're looking for the reactions from the books in this case more often than not. We saw the bets, percentage of bets, typically constitute the soup, right? Everything kind of goes into the pot, right? It's parlays, it's teasers, it's players to win props, it's prop bets. It's just where's all the action, right? The majority of the tickets being written. And what side is that on? Well, the majority of the tickets being written are on the Cubs. The majority of the cash, though, coming in, and typically we associate the cash with at least bigger bettors, if not sharper bettors. Now, sharper and bigger don't necessarily go synonymous and walk into that dark night together. Sometimes we see that, just because they got a bunch, like look at the Super Bowl. Everybody that's multi-billionaires out there, especially when they're out in the West Coast, they roll into Vegas and they got to put, $100,000 down just to feel a little bit of the sting if a team wins or loses. That doesn't mean they're necessarily sharper. It just means they have more money. But in this case, we're going to look at the bigger bets or the bigger cash as the sharps, and then we want to kind of analyze the reaction. So this line, and the way I would analyze this reaction, now it was plus 105, it's now 107, but the Cubs line hasn't moved. So Joe Public loves them Cubs. No disrespect to anybody here that loves them Cubs. But Joe's all over. Joey P. Joey Public. Then we look at this pitching matchup, and you get it. What does the public know? Well, they know Shota. Imanaga, 3.07 ERA, 9-2 on the season. In fact, we'll talk about him in a second, but just 2 losses is impressive. And then Lively, 3.59 ERA, 10-7. Probably the biggest concern I have here is can Lively at least go 5? Now, we know the bullpen situations, not to sound like a broken record. We got 2 phenomenal bullpens in play right now, the Cleveland Guardians and the Houston Astros. I'm sorry, the Tampa Bay Rays. Woo, that's a big change. Just look at Tampa Bay. What do they let? 1 or 2 runs, I believe, now in their last 5 or 6 games. So I'll tighten those numbers up for you guys, but we'll do some bullpen rankings and be able to analyze that here. Cubs, first game on the road, first game of a series when they're on the road after a road series. They're just 3-7. Packing it up, moving from one road location to the next. They're just 3-7 are them Cubs. They're perfect. 10-0 to the under. First game of a series on the road after a road series. Perfect 10-0 to the under. They're just not scoring. Look at this total. It's gone from 8.5 down to 8s now. Some 8s out there predominantly across the board. And they're juiced to the under. You want to look at some of these numbers here. We got starting pitcher factors. We got low extra base hit rate teams. So, we see a team in the Guardians, not really an extra base hitting team. They kind of feast or famine. Imanaga gobbles teams like that up. He's 14-2. His only losses on the year, the Phillies and the Brewers. Phillies when they were pumping gas, and the Brewers when they were knocking all that shit out of the yard. I ultimately went to, and I will share it with you guys. Let me get the banner up and rolling. Where is it? Baseball. It's like the same teams, they fucking all play the same. They all play every day. There they are. I'm taking them. Taking them Guardians. How about this one? The old streak stoppers here. The Cleveland Guardians. And to be a streak stopper, you got to think about it. All your tools have to come together at the right time. You got to have your starting pitcher figure it out a way. Lively. We need that. You got to have your hitters at least be effective. They don't necessarily have to be productive. They have to be effective, right? We just got to make sure that they keep this pitcher and Imanaga honest. We got to get a lot of pitches out of Imanaga early. Then you got to have a bullpen that's fired to shut the door down and then close them out and send them home. The streak stopper. When you're playing a team that's on 3 or more game winning streak, guess who's a perfect 10-0? The Cleveland Guardians. 10-0. They're 9-1 on the run line as well. And if we look at this Cubs team, they're so hot. They got a 4-game winning streak. They got Imanaga on the bump. There's no way they lose this game. Listen, pump your brakes. 2 of those 4 wins were against the White Sox. 2 of those 4 wins were against the Twins. Both teams are, we don't need to talk about the White Sox. We already know who they are. The Twins, okay. Low travel spot. One of those losses was a pure implosion because Joey Ryan had to come out of that thing in the 2nd inning. We'll put some big asterisks all over this Chicago Cubs team. We're going to take some Cleveland Guardians action. I'll tell you what, the Guardians in the under gets me jacked up to think about 2 10-0 trends. I mean, not get 5. These guys are going to. Wrong. Something always. What happens? Let's go alternate here. Let's get back into the saddle here. Now, bear with me. Sometimes I start talking out loud and I like the way it sounds. I like the way it sounds and I want to get some action on it. So I am going to take a little added sprinkle here on this. Not a sprinkle, but let's go. Let's look at game props, game parlays. And the Guardians and the under 8. Plus 238. How about that? Guardians in the under 8 plus 238. Let's make a little money on that one. How about that? Let's go get that cash right there. I'm going to add that one to the play as well. I know you guys don't like hearing it. I know it. I'm looking at I see it now. I see it. I see you guys over there. Bittersweet Negroni's in the house. What up? Steve Fennerbox is 99 watching, 27 likes, man. Goodness of my heart. Come in here and do this for you guys and girls. All I ask you to do is hit that thumbs up button. Show the support. Let's go. Justin got Buxton plus 150 RBI. Let's go. Let's move on for you guys here. We got one more spot here early in action. Early action on the card. Talk some of these numbers. Keep it short and sweet for you guys. Keep this thing moving. Everyone's got stuff to do tonight to get ready for tomorrow's live stream. So want to respect everybody's time and not keep you guys any longer than we have to. I don't like a little bit of this last minute movement here. Houston Astros, Tampa Bay Rays. We got this thing popping off minus 132. Now has moved to minus 129. 73% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the Stros. Then we look at the total. It's gone from 7 to some 7.5s. We have 97% of the bets and 95% of the cash on the over. Framber, big, sweaty dude, went deep last time out there. And we talked about this not too long ago, right? These pitchers that go deep. Now, Framber's a guy, peak condition, I guess. Been playing in the league for a minute. Should know how to handle this bounce back opportunity after going deep that last time. I mean, what was it, the 9th inning? Was it the 8th or the 9th inning that he leaked up a run there and ruined his no-no? 3.46 ERA, 11-5 on his season. And then Taj Mahal Bradley with a 3.07 ERA, a 6-6 on the season. Not striking the fear of anything into his enemies. But this one comes down to a couple of things for it. You look at Tampa Bay, they're good for one win a series. We saw that against Baltimore. They went 1-2. They won that last game of the series. Now it is their second series at home. So they have the benefit or the advantage of not having rest or not having to travel in the rest position. The Astros, it's going to be their 3rd straight road series. Important to note for potential bullpen fatigue as we get deeper into the series here. Do they bring all the parts on the road with them? They need to go out there and figure out a way to handle this Tampa Bay Rays team. But it's Houston Astros season, right? I mean, some teams just get ready. They don't care. They're trying out young pieces early in the season. They flip the switch around the All-Star break. They start putting and stringing together wins. and nobody's done it better than this Astros team right now. They blanked the Boston Red Sox. I know Nasty Nate don't want to hear that, but 10-2, 5-4, 8-4. They handled the Texas Rangers as well. The Bats are alive. They're alive in Houston. Big factor for me with this game. Big spot here. A couple spots for me that I took in this game. Couple little hits here. First 5 number I was on earlier today at minus 134. The line just keeps moving. It just keeps moving. Let's see what it's at right now. Well, I guess it's minus 132. First 5. Best number. FanDuel. I knew there was a reason I wasn't going there for this spot of the show. This is what the benefit of having the information mature all day long. But look, first 5 unders, full game unders have been fucking gift with this Houston Astros team. This line opened up at 4. It's got some, still 1-4, a little juicy on the under, but now 3.5. We're seeing movement to the unders. It makes a lot of sense to see these unders. Framber, after going deep and throwing over 90 pitches, is an under guy. He does bounce back that next start as well. And that reason I like the Nerfy. This one grades super high. Things that I look for when I'm trying to play Nerfies, I'm looking for the line to move to the under. I'm looking for pitchers to be able to go out there and handle business. And I think we can check both those boxes here. And I got to get in on this Astros team. The thing for me about the Tampa Bay Rays, it's more of a fade. Well, it's not just a fade of it checks a lot of boxes. It's my favorite play. The fact that Tampa Bay is now 0-13 as a home dog of 105 or more tells you everything you need to know. These guys start off as a dog. They're a dog for a reason. The line continues to move against them in that regard. Right now, you can find plus 110s, plus 115s. Fuck, we probably won't see a 118 because this game's going to pop off in 12 minutes. So I'm on the Astros. First, full game for me, Astros now. No run first inning. I already locked it in earlier today for the first 5. I'm not against it by any stretch. But now I see FanDuel has there. So I got to practice what I preach when we get onto this show. I think Valdez handles business. I think it's business time. I think we keep her rolling out there. Joe T, active motherfucker in that chat, says, Jason, also like the over in the Jays game and the Rangers game. Joe T never met an under he doesn't like, or that he doesn't like. Joe T never met an over he doesn't like, I guess is what I meant to say. Shout out to Wine Time Sports, says checking in from Rome. We're an international show. We've gone abroad with our guy Wine Time. I hope you're enjoying that honeymoon, my dude. Italy for our guy out there on Saturday. He still checked in. It was like 1:30 his time out there in Italy. And he was still jumping on, making some UFC bets. I think he went like 2-0 and he was like, all right, I got to go. Nice job, dude. That's the way you get it done. Let's go. Kelly D says, heard after the break, Tampa Bay bullpen good, Minnesota bullpen bad, something to keep peepers on. Yeah, I mean, how do you define a good bullpen? Not letting any runs in. I mean, that's clearly the deal for sure. And I think that makes a lot of sense. So AOD's in the house. Is Mike M, our brother from another. What's up, dude? It's good to see you up in here. Let's go. Smoke and mirrors. Says, is this where we come for straps plays? Man, if I was going to handicap for a show for straps, there'd only be like 6 of us on there. Well, only 6 of us know that's where the money's at. Bittersweet says, if Pimp's going Guardians, then that will keep me with the Stros money line as my play. Let's go. Let's go do just that. Ricky Bobby says, I got Cubs game and Astros game under 1.5 first inning parlay. I like that. So just 1 run or less is what you're looking at there. I get it. I can dig it. Let's roll on. Let's get into it. We've got 3 more games in baseball, and I have not forgotten the soccer spot that I told you guys I like tonight. Let's look at this game here. We've got a little action. Speaking of our guy, Wine Time Sports, his Angels team. And you always want to take note when he is on the Angels. Make sure you follow our guy, Wine Time Sports, on X, because he's on the Angels. He is absolutely there. And this line's starting to move back to the Angels. We're starting to see that flip-flop, that reverse line movement, or that U-shaped movement where it's moved away from him. Now it's coming back to him. Minus 1 cent, though. Let's not get excited just yet. 1 cent. Minus 115 for the Angels is now minus 106. 69% of the bets on the Angels, but 51% of the cash on the Blue Jays. Totals at 9 has not moved with 93% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the over. And I get it. You look at these two gas cans out there, and Francis with a 5.44. What movie is that? 5.44 ERA. I can hear it in my head. Francis. 5.44 ERA for this fucking knucklehead. Then on the other side of things, we see Davis Daniel. You got a 6.04 ERA. I mean, what's not to like about the over in this game, right? Seems like it's a nice looking little opportunity there. I broke some numbers down, though, on the sides and the totals. Oh, shit. You know what else I wanted to give you guys? Is it going to start yet? Let me see. It started. Sorry. Fine. No worries. No worries. I skipped over some of these Framber stats for you guys here. I put them down. I might as well read them off. Road favorites, first game of the series off a road win by multiple runs are 27-4. 27-4 if they're on the road and they bust them up that previous game. They're going to bust them up again. When they talk about pitchers after quality starts, Framber, 9-2 after a quality start. That's the guy that should bounce back out there. 90-plus pitches when they go deep. He's 11-2 in those spots out there. 60% win rate on there. So some of those numbers there. But as far as this Toronto game is concerned, two spots that jumped off at me, just the ineffectiveness of these pitching matchups right now. Davis Daniels particularly is the weakest link. After less than 90 pitches his previous start, so under that quality start tag, Davis Daniels not the guy you want to have your money on, at least for the time being. He's 0-3. And the tough part about the Angels in that spot, we know that their bullpen is atrocious. If they can't go out there and hold it down early and hope to get so many runs of a win that it doesn't matter that their bullpen's bad, it implodes. They can still cover it because they've jacked them up early. That's not this team. That's not Davis Daniel. He's 0-3 after less than 90 pitches his previous start. And Francis is an over spot. After a short pitching fest, the bats come to life for this guy, and they know he needs the help to support and carry. Now, Vladdy's got to get his shit together. That 0-7 is going to be unacceptable in that spot. Also, Davis Daniel in that bounce back spot after a loss. 0-3. Lots of reasons to want to get away from this Angels team for me. Now, they have taken themselves off the shit list. They have pulled themselves. You'll see that little left-hand column. It's open over there. We're going to do something with that grade A real estate. But the Angels aren't there anymore. We'll see what happens here with Toronto. Now, Toronto is my AL East team. So you may or may not be aware of that. But I got an NL team and an AL team, just like an NFC team and an AFC team. And it is Toronto. So not too excited about the season that these fellas have had. And I don't like that it's Francis going back out there on the bump. But I think there's enough action here. I think there's enough showing that there's going to be some vulnerability in Davis for us to be able to go out there and get on top of this thing. Kelly V says, Vladdy hit streak ended. Yeah, I think it was 23. Yeah. I mean, shit. What is that? 18% of the season he had a hit in a row. It's a hell of a run for that guy. All good things must come to an end. But Clint Zerline's in the house. The U.S. Open, the amateur who won. Ricky Levine says Toronto always gives the Angels trouble at home. I kind of was thinking that too. Like on the surface, you think it's a tough travel spot, but for whatever reason, they figure it out. And then Kelly V says Toronto and LA travel. Always makes me concerned for sluggish bats. I still like Rendon. Sancho says knucklehead. Nice. Yeah, I did see those Coliseum pictures, dude. That looked pretty fucking cool. Wine time, pretty fucking cool. Jason Mayer says 15-minute left off to the window. Going to be close. Go get that money, my dude. And then come back and watch the rest of it so you can see these later plays that we're going to get involved with here. It's an Angel spot for me. It is an Angel. I'm sorry. Slip of the tongue. Where's my, there it is. It couldn't have been any more the opposite of an Angel spot for me. I'm fading Davis, and I'm fading that bullpen for this Los Angeles Angels team here. I think it's a great opportunity. Even money for the first 5 has now, well, there's still one out there. BetMGM still has it. But man, 107s, 108s, 110s, 115s now. That Toronto first 5 seeing what I'm seeing with the Daniel spot and the letdown roll, also the full game, minus 105 is still out there. Minus 108s, minus 110s, and minus 112s now on the card as well. So, pros, not quite pros versus Joes. The public loves this Angels team, and the big money's pretty split between the two here, but I'm not overly surprised by that. You see are they the better team? 54 and 64 versus 52 and 66. Probably not the better team, but probably the more consistent. Is that fair? The more consistent team? I don't know. Kelly V agrees. NJ Strikers, the Stripes. That's right. NJ Striker, good job. I knew that's where I was right on the tip of my tongue. Let's get in this game. Heavy consumption of vodka over the weekend means I need to heavy up on the water early on a Monday here, you guys. Colorado and these Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks running red fucking hot right now. And getting hot at the right time, especially after dealing with that series against the Phils. Beat them up yesterday. Literally like the dog that poops on the ground and you push its face in it. That's what happened to the Phillies yesterday. They got shit all over their face today. Minus 215 Diamondbacks has now moved to minus 300. Whoa. 95% of the bets and 92% of the cash. Everybody loves the Diamondbacks. And then we see this total at 8.5 has not moved. 99% of the bets, 98% of the cash on the over. And it's sitting at 8.5. Now we got Cal Quantrill pulled back. Blaylock. Maybe he's the opener and Cal Quantrill will be the primary. Eesh. This fucking schedule today, man, between the batters, the pitchers, the line movement. I know Vitalis, we were talking earlier today about some big movement in some of these spots. Yeah, it's these pitching changes. And it's Brandon Pfaadt with a 3.92 ERA. He's 6-6 on his young season out there, trying to figure it out. Now, there was some concern earlier that Ketel Marte took a little bit of a bump, got a little raspberry, if you will, potentially compromising his game today. I don't think so. He sat out, yesterday? If he was going in there today, he's ready to go. I don't think they would risk him getting extended injury, or aggravated injury. Look, Colorado, big series at home. 2 of 3 games against those Atlanta Braves, who are now traveling over to San Francisco. We look at this Diamondbacks team, 3-1 against the Philadelphia Phillies, and they handled Cleveland before that. Diamondbacks rolling up. I told you already about that, right? 6-0 in his home starts, 5-1 on the run line for Brandon Pfaadt. Diamondbacks are 10-0 on the run line. If it's the first game of a series at home and they're a big favorite. So that kind of, should somebody be a minus 300? Yeah, the Diamondbacks should be. 10-0 on the run line. Covering the run line by 2.5 runs means they're winning these games on average around 4 runs per game. Also, a big over spot. Teams that are shorter than a 123 are 83 and 38 to the over when they're off a win and an over as a dog. We talked about that one last week. We introduced that little trend last week. And look, the Diamondbacks offense is just red hot, right? 6.8 runs per game in the month of August. They're doing it, and they're doing it right. They're doing it well. They're doing it consistently. They're seeing the ball well. They're at home, which gives them another piece of decided advantage. The challenge for me is just, where are you going to look at for this team? Now, the 4.5 got juiced for the team total. The 4.5 is now 5.5. And there's some even money spots out there. They got to go out there and crush. The Rockies, on the other hand, we just talked about that series against the Braves. After they get 15 or more hits the previous game, so they're seeing the ball well, or the pitching staff for Arizona or for Atlanta was just that bad. They're 0-11 in those follow-up spots after they had 15 or more hits. So you got intersecting zeros. Pfaadt, 6-0. You got Diamondbacks 10-0 on the run line. You got the Rockies at 0-11 out there. And we got this little over nugget that we have to sprinkle in here. What are we doing? How are we tacking it? What's the play? What's the game plan? It's a load up. Load them up and smoke the shit out of them here. First of all, start with the middle. Give me Pfaadt to get the win at minus 120. I like a spot for this guy to go out there and handle business, especially the Rockies team intersecting zeros. The guy's on a 6-0, 5-1 on the run line. We know for him to win or get credited for the win, he has to be up before he gets out. And if that's the case and they can hold on to that lead, then we're in good shape for a -120. Also, Arizona -1.5 and the over 8.5. The over just is a big function of Diamondbacks could easily do this on their own. They're averaging almost 7 at home. And we got an 8.5. Now, I know it's under that key number of 9 that I talk about with baseball pretty regularly. Don't love seeing that. But I figure if we can get like 2 runs from the Rockies, I think Arizona can handle this thing here. Like a 5. I'm sorry, that's not going to do it, is it? It's going to have to be like a 7-2 type of game. But I expect it to be that kind of game. Look, I just mentioned that 6.8 runs per average at home for this Diamondbacks in the month of August. They're firing right now. And I like that over. So that's a +185 spot. I like that. I opted for that instead of taking the -1.5 at -115. Now you could say, well, take the -115. I don't like to lay the runs and the odds. You guys know me with that. I talk about it all the time. Rather have the bag over the head than the kick in the nuts. And there's no bags around here. So I opted to turn that into a nice beefy spot, hoping that they could just get to. At the time, I thought it was going to be Quantrell, but this line is obviously skyrocketing. And then last but not least, I parlayed Arizona with San Diego. And Pittsburgh spot out there. I know some of you guys were talking about raise it up on the early set of the show. I just thought when I looked at these two teams, I like this Padres team. I like what's going on right now. We see huge movement too, not just little, -162 to -195 on the Padres. 89% of the bets, but it's a 50-50 split from the sharps or the bigger bets. It's Musgrove, it's Woodford. Woodford's got that 10.8 ERA. And I just think San Diego, when their bats get hot, you better not get in the fucking way because you're going to get run over. And I thought I had another number. I had to reset my computer right before. Let me see if I have this number. Let me see if I have this number here. I had to reset right before the show started. So that's always a 50-50 proposition here. 50-50 proposition at best. I don't have it. The Diamondbacks, though, first game of a series at home, if they're stronger than a -190, are a 10-0 run line spot. So it's a little trifecta spot there for me with this game. And then I brought it home. A little late night spot here for the Atlanta-San Francisco game to close her up. Nice. Justin says 1-0 Stros. Solo shot, baby. Let's go. That's how we start. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Last but not least here, the Atlanta Braves. It's Chris Sale Day. 2.75 ERA. San Francisco. The San Francisco Treats got Blake Snell with a 4.31 ERA on his season. But we know Snell at home, right? There's some real things happening there. Now, we talked about this early. They fucked their lineup up. No Conforto, the number one hitting guy on your bench or your team is out tonight. They not trying to waste him? Oh, fuck, Ramon. Oh, man, he says Machado. I talked so highly of Machado earlier today. I was like, this guy's going to be the straw that stirs the drink this next quarter part of the season. And he's out. I don't like seeing that, Ramon. But I like seeing you on Saturday, Ramon. It was good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Make sure you check out our guys' Morning Steam. Get up there with a cup of coffee and go see what our guy Ramon's doing, man. I love it. Love all the fucking – that guy's got more action before I even wake up than I'll probably play all day. That's Ramon Scott, baby. Let's go. I don't know, Ramon. I don't know if that's true, Ramon. We're probably pretty – I don't know if we're close, but you got – Ramon's into all sorts of gambling out there, and I love it. Literally 7 a.m. It's got to be 7 a.m. his time, and I hear finished, final. I'm like, what the hell is final? It's like 8 a.m. What's going on? Anyways, San Francisco Giants, Atlanta Braves, 9:45 p.m. here. This line is at -110, has not moved, and it's pretty much 50-50. 28,641 tickets. When I say pretty much, I mean 49% of the bets and 52% of the cash. It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. We look at these two spots here. Starting pitchers against good teams. No one's better than Chris Sale. He's 10-2. Good hitting teams. Also, Winning teams, good teams. Winning teams over a 500 record, he's 8-2. He shows up to play. And this whole series should be a lot of fun. This will probably be the last gasp of air, maybe, for the Atlanta Braves before they realize they're just toast and they should have been big-time sellers before that. The Giants on a hell of a run right now, 12-4. Launched themselves back into playoff contention. Chris Sale shit the money bet against the Milwaukee Brewers. Season high 9 hits over 4 2/3 innings. At least they didn't leave him out there to roast on the spit like a Patrick Corbin, right? On the other side of things, Snell. Then you got Logan Webb. Oh, man. The San Francisco team is definitely, you're 12-4. What do you need to say? You're pitching well. You're fucking right you are. And their offense is firing right now. That was the challenge here. I know our guy Nutflush Allen will talk about this San Francisco team and when to start getting on them and when not to. Their team total overs always look like a good play to get involved with, especially when they're rolling. And they dominate lefties right now. They're 4th in WRC and 6th in hard hit rate against lefties. A lot to look for. Top 5 offense all in all. Good looking team. I'm still fading. I'm only going on the first 5 though with this game. This is a Atlanta Braves, Chris Sale, first 5 spot. Now that I see that this lineup's gummed around, let me see why. Let me analyze why. Oh, I know why. The best number out there for the full game was FanDuel at -102. I'm going to put an asterisk on that. It was Atlanta -102 FanDuel. Let's just do a little litmus test here. Let's just test the batch and see if I'm still dialed in with FanDuel fucking people over by baiting them in with the best number. But I like this first 5. I want Sale over Snell in this case here. I know the team 14. Can the bullpen implode? Of course. We see that time and again. But San Francisco's running hot. I just think we get the opportunity with some of these bats. Ozuna, Riley, some of these guys can hit right now, especially when you look about what's happening with this, San Fran squad. They got to be ready to go. They can't just fuck around and find out. They got to go out there and bring the fight to the other team. And then you look at this against Chris Sale. There's only 3 guys on the lineup now that even have 4 guys have pitches. 2-0 for Tyler Fitzgerald. I do like a Tyler Fitzgerald guy, but not tonight. Mark Hanna, 14 at-bats, 3 hits, 1 RBI for a 214 against Chris Sale. And he's the lefty. And then Matt Chapman, 12 at-bats, 3 hits, 1 home run, 2 RBIs against Chris Sale. That's it. The other 2/3 of the team, they don't have shit against this guy. They haven't even seen him. Encarnacion, Yastrzemski, Luciano, Bailey, Schmidt. Oh, looks like the O in a fucking bingo card. Then on the other side of things, you look at this Atlanta Braves team. You've seen Snell. Jorge Soler, 12 at-bats, 4 hits, 1 home run, 3 RBIs for a 333. Marcell Ozuna, 3 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 home run, 1 RBI. Matty Olson, to be desired. But it's that lefty-lefty matchup, right? You guys have heard me say this before. I hate when it's that lefty-lefty. You want a proof source here. You got a guy in Matty Olson who's playing pretty well. He's having a decent season. He's got 11 at-bats, only 1 hit for an RBI for an 0.91 batting average against Blake Snell. I'm not going to cut it. Righties, on the other hand, not having a problem. Orlando Arcia, granted only 1 hit, but it's 1 at-bat, so he's 100%. Sean Murphy, 4 at-bats, 3 hits, 750. Ramon Laureano, 5 at-bats, 1 hit for 200. And then down there in the bottom is good old Whit Merrifield, 14 at-bats, 7 hits, a home run, and an RBI. I think there's enough to happen here on the front part of this game at a -105 to take this Atlanta Braves team. And then fuck the rest of the game. Fuck them. See where it gets them at the end of the day. That's how I want to get paid. That's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to make this cash with this Atlanta first 5 spot, you guys. Let's see what you have to say out there. Coin says Atlanta, San Francisco battle for last playoff spot. Enormous series. This is going to be one of the best series of this early part of the week. I fully agree with that, Coin. That's a great call. Justin says, are my Bravos ever going to win a series? But y'all know towards end of August every year we get busy. Just like the Astros, man. Just like the Astros. Some love for Ramon Scott in the house. Brandon Whedon's shouting out the Stacks play. Good to see Brandon Whedon out there. Oldie says Yanks bullpen gave up 6 yesterday. Yeah. It's the White Sox, though. It's the White Sox. You know, I mean, heel on the bump. Better at home than the road, right? Maybe. I don't know. Lynn Belvedere's in the house. Says that NL West is shaping up to be a wild finish. It is. It's going to be fun. We got some fun happening now. Still doing our preseason betting and our CFL betting, but we are right in that spot to make things happen today. So let's do just that, you guys. I told you I was going to give you one last spot for you. I'm looking at some League Cup action. Let me just take a look at this line and make sure that it's still where I want it to be. It is. So we got the Seattle Sounders and the Pumas, 10:30 p.m. pop-off here. And initially I was looking to take this Sounders in the over 1.5 at plus 180. Still not upset with that spot at all. I think this is a great Seattle opportunity. This team's been rolling. They're scoring goals. It's just like we talked about with that one game. Was that last week when we added Inter Miami and both teams to score? And that thing was fucking nuked right off the game. So Skunt Blaster says, Mike, do you like Seager today? I mean, Skunt, I'm not. Here's the thing. If you look at the top of the board for any stat at all in any sport, typically not on those guys or girls. And so guys like Seager, everybody was all over him early. Now he's dropped. He's fallen down by the wayside. So I could get behind him. I just don't know about the Rangers today. I guess that's the challenge that I have is, are the Rangers going to be able to go out there and handle Boston? The bookmakers don't really think so. That seems like it's kind of a trappy little spot for Texas here. And I know a lot of people like this Texas team, so it scares me a little bit, but depends on how you're looking to take it. If I was going to do a round robin RBI parlay, no, he probably wouldn't be in there, but a hit. Sure. Why not see him take a hit out there? Also, I was looking at this game and I thought both teams to score and Seattle to win this game as well, like a 2-1. So see how you look at this spot, look at this opportunity, look at this matchup here. Seattle to win and both teams to score is plus 300. That's where I ultimately put my money as opposed to the team total over 1.5, because I do think the Pumas can find a way to score. I think they put it in there. And I want to put it in there with a plus 300 spot. So that's where I chose to attack this game. I'm also going to back bet it with the Seattle plus 120. So, for what it's worth, the reason I'm going up and attacking it that way is because if for some reason both teams don't score, well, I still want to end up someone in the profit. But this is a Seattle has to win spot for me in this League's Cup. And I think they do get the job done. So I didn't add it as a graphic. I'll just keep it short for you guys because we're at 7 o'clock. I appreciate all you guys. I love all you guys coming in here, hanging out every single Monday through Friday with us. We got work to do, baby. We got money to make. We got stacks to stack and stack. Shout out to our guy Stacks and Justin McKelvey with that play of the day. We got a big show tomorrow, you guys. Big live stream Tuesday. So make sure you get your chores done tonight. Get yourself ready. Do your shopping, whatever else you got to do. Because tomorrow we're going out there to take the fight back to the bookies for a little Dana White Contender Series. And it's a lot of fun. It's typically going to be on ESPN. You guys don't have to deal with pay-per-views. If you've never seen them before, they should be quick. It's short. It's sweet. It's to the point. They give us 4 or 5 matches. We get some money, and then we move on to the next day. So make sure you guys check that stuff out. My guy Lucas Betts in the house. It's great to see him back in action. We missed you, brother. Happy to have you back, and we're going to do just that tomorrow. So make sure you guys get ready to get after it. It's going to be a nice little live stream fun tomorrow. We'll talk baseball. We'll talk all the sports that are in play. We'll probably have some sidebar conversation about, the preseason NFL that's coming up this week as well. So you guys know the deal with these live streams. We get our heads together. We kick the shit out of anything that gets in our way. And I expect it to happen again tomorrow. So hit that thumbs up button. Show the support, you guys. Get those comments out there. Make sure you check out what Joe T's doing out there with the community page. Consider the survivor pool. And let's get that money, man. Let's have some fun. Let's cash. Let's win big. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Pre-gaming.